I'm Patricia.Castillo.
And this is our Wednesday afternoon home buyer seminar. We get together every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and talk about all things buying residential real estate for your first house or a trade-up house. We live stream onto YouTube and to Facebook, and we often have professionals who join in and share. We love it to be participative. If you're on here, feel free to raise your hand, put questions in the chat box. If you're watching on social media live, we'll pick up your messages in the chat there as well, or catch them after the call. Look forward to hearing from you. And so Patricia, what's up? What's new?
Well, I wanted to share, I have an open house this weekend. So if anybody is interested in looking at a property in the city of Downey, it's at a very affordable price.
Downey adjacent or actually in the city of Downey?
City of Downey.
Living large.
Yes. So this is a probate listing and we just have received full authority. So we are accepting offers now, and our time for the open house will be Saturday and Sunday, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. And it's a really great starter home. It's remodeled, has a new roof, it's turnkey, it's ready to go. So it's
the property address.
New buyer, 8024 Cheyenne Avenue, and it's CHEYENNE. And Gustavo, if you're available, I'd love for you to sit in on the open house and maybe help qualify some people.
Yeah, that sounds great. Now you're doing it on both days, Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday, 12 to 3.
Okay. All right, let me check my schedule. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is right in my backyard, and I'm so excited to get this home going, get a buyer in there very soon.
Downey, the Beverly Hills of the 562.
That's right. Yeah.
So here we go.
So Reina, if you have any buyers that are interested in moving to this area of Los Angeles County, come on by.
Yes, absolutely. What's the price on it?
So listed at 580.
580. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it sounds like it's in moving condition too.
It's in moving condition, yes. So it's ready to go. And there really isn't anything in Downey under 600 for a single family. So it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And it's a really cute little home. Really great starter home in a great city with award-winning school district. So
yeah,
pretty good for 580. It's a great opportunity.
I don't know why I'm having a tough time.
You can't find the listing?
No, I found it. I'm trying to find it on the XP Realty website. I found the property, but it's not letting me get any information about it. It's kind of odd. Oh, it's just
it's listed on my website for EXP.
You know what it is? It's my the internet my computer, because I have the this program running Patricia.Castillo. There we go. And where's the listing at? There it is.
So that's a great price for somebody that's looking for their first home. Yeah. That price range is what we're looking at now as far as like a starter home. So there you have it.
Who's that pretty lady down the right corner?
That's me with short hair.
You hire some famous actress, some cute little novella star to put in there?
Novella.
Look at that. Very nice. So
yeah, cute little home.
Cute little home from the front. Now, who did your pictures? Who did your photos?
Sean Barrett.
How about that? Nice aerial shot.
Yes. Sean Barrett Photography. He's an awesome photographer and does really great with the video as well. So.
Oh man, it kicked me out. Hold on a second.
Oh, so the home you just shot, that's the Long Beach listing, and that's closing in 2 weeks. And now
hold on. So you have open house, you have another one closing. What the heck?
I have, yes, this one's Long Beach is closing in 2 weeks at the ending of this month. And then Downey's ready to go.
Go Patricia.
Oh, Patricia, wow.
So, yeah, so I know I was talking with Gustavo. Him and I met a client this week at Starbucks here in the City of Commerce, and he's working with them to get them pre-qualified. So this is a really good price to start at. What have you seen lately, Gustavo, with people that are looking at their first home for, first-time buyers? Do you think this is a good starting point for them?
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say when you were mentioning it's a great, small home for them, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, that family that's got the 1 kid, maybe even 2, right? It's still affordable, like you said, good location, school district, and that's the thing, the affordability, because
Right.
things are just getting a little bit more expensive and expensive. And then I like the fact that you said it was move-in ready, because sometimes when you get into this price range, they have to go in there and make renovations. But I mean, looking at this, it's ready to go. Someone can go in there and feel very comfortable here unless they want some specific changes, but they've got a home right away that they can move into.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's in a great area of Downey. There's a lot of shops down the street on Paramount Boulevard.
Hmm. Yeah.
You have everything from Mexican food, sushi. There's a couple of bars on more like it's a restaurant, but it has an area, where you can have drinks. But it's close to schools, so it's in a really great location.
Yeah.
So you mentioned it's a probate sale. That sounds scary. Maybe we shouldn't buy it because it's a probate.
Probate can be, it sounds like it's scary, right? But no, actually,
Halloween's coming.
yes, actually, this is, the owner was on title and with his brother. So his brother passed away, and they didn't have a will or a trust. And so they were not able to escape probate, which usually costs a lot of money. But Bill, you introduced me to another attorney service that has a very, fantastic program to help you through the probate process. And you can pay at the close of escrow if you're using a realtor. So.
Ooh, do we know any good realtors in Downey that might be able to help you?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, are they as cute as the girl in that picture?
Pretty close. Yeah. So it's fantastic.
I guess what I wanted to draw out was that, yes, probate can be specific and difficult. That's why you work with professionals and experts. And I'm an expert in probate. You're an expert in escrow. And together we figure out a way to negotiate through the deal. We had a game plan from the beginning. And I think we're going to end up saving our customer $10,000 in legal fees or $5,000 in legal fees.
At least, yeah.
The statutory on 580, yeah, it would be about 15 or 13. So he's saving at least $5,000, $8,000, which is real money in his pocket at the end of the day.
Right. Absolutely. So after this, he's a older gentleman. He's a senior. And so after.
Well, hold on. How old's older?
He's right under 70. So you're
whoa. He's in his 60s.
You're
Hold on.
younger, Bill.
60s is older now? Oh my gosh. It's like I'm a grandpa. Oh, I am a grandpa.
You are a grandpa.
I am. I literally am a grandpa.
Yeah. So we're helping people accomplish their goals in real estate. And this client's goal was to sell this property and go to Israel. So
whoa.
He's definitely going to take a trip. And then after that, we're going to work on his other property.
Whoa, my people, Israel. Excellent. So, see, what other news has gone on in the industry? Let's bring Gustavo in. Gustavo, how about those interest rates this week?
Yeah, we've been having a real tough time. This the last week just keeps on climbing. Yeah, exactly. So you have those charts there. It was probably about a month ago, and I was kind of in between fives, a little bit of sixes, but more fives. And now it's just getting up there where you're consistently hitting those 6%. So the market keeps reacting to news, inflation. The Fed's going to meet later on the 21st, 22nd of September. They're probably going to raise the Fed fund rate. So that's probably going to create some buzz and some stir. So we're probably here for a little bit longer as well. So there's definitely people that are getting a little bit antsy about where this is going. Are they getting priced out? And sure, that's definitely something that can happen and is happening. And on my side, I try to do as much as I can to find them those lenders where we can be very flexible on the rate. And if anything, maybe help them on the cost as well too, where we have lower costs that we are able to at least, help them on that side of the transaction.
So rates this week went from 5.99 up to 6.3 today.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, today.
that puts us back to like 2000 and I want to say 14 years into 2008 before we're at that same level. We were at 14-year highs. I will show you that most of the rest of my life rates were higher than that. And everybody who had these rates kept refinancing every 6 months to a year, down, and save money.
Yeah.
And so the question is, I think the scary part is, does this mean 6% is going to go up to 7, 8, 9, 10? And the answer I'd say is, well, not today it won't. If you buy a house today and lock in a rate today, how soon could somebody start the process, Gustavo, if they found the house they liked and lock in a rate? What would it take me from right now if I said, you know what, Gustavo, I'm ready to buy a house. When can I lock in some money? How long would it take?
Yeah, definitely. So it's collecting the documents, right? Being able to get that pre-approval so that we can get the check stubs, the W-2s, verifying the bank statements for the down payment, running credit. So all those things are part of our pre-approval process that I do. And I can do that the same day. So that same day I can turn around and be able to deliver Patricia, for example, a pre-approval letter for that customer. Now, if they go ahead and find a house, let's say they find it this weekend, great. But maybe they don't know when they're going to find it. Well, at the same time, once I have that pre-approval, I can lock in that rate for about 90 days. Even though we don't have a property, I can still lock it in for 90 days, give them a little bit of a security blanket.
There you go.
And then if they find it, great, we'll be able to go into the processing right away.
And so even if it's true, this is interesting. Jill Spady's on our social media, I think on YouTube, and she says, hi, hey, Jill, how you doing? We also got a couple other, Tim congratulates Patricia on Long Beach. But Jill says the feds are threatening to go up another 1 percentage point. Well, that may or may not raise the mortgage rates. We don't know. It could, may not. But if you're locked in today, it doesn't really matter to you. And in fact, if you're locked in today at 6 or 6 1/4 or 6.5 or whatever, and it goes to 7 or 8 or 9, but if you're locked in, you're locked in. Good for you. You bought in at a time when it was cheap, right?
Right, exactly. And that's the thing that, the Fed will make their changes for the Fed fund rate, but the market will react to that, right? And sometimes leading up to that, depending on the news, what happens when Chairman Powell, was at Jackson Hole and he made those announcements, right after that, it just, rates skyrocketed, really quickly. It would, even though there was no official meeting or anything like that, just the fact that he mentioned, this is going to be a tough time for home buyers. It was just the market reacted, right? So when we get closer to the 20th, 21st, maybe there's enough adjustment already by the market, or maybe there's still going to be an adjustment that's happening. So, but like you said, we lock it in now, you get pre-approved, then you're good for at least 90 days. You can go longer as well. There's a little bit of a cost to that, but you can also go ahead and lock it in for 90 days and shop around.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so not to worry, if you're buying a house, you can lock in a rate. Now, it doesn't matter where they're going to be in 2 or 3 months. It might be great news for you if you lock in and get a great rate. And there's great opportunities for you as well. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. And, they announced the new conforming loan limits. So
that was good news.
Yeah, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they announced that. So the new 2023 conforming loan limits, pretty much every county got a nice improvement as home prices keeps going up. Some of these loan levels were hitting those jumbo marks. Jumbo rates are higher rates. They have more requirements, lower debt to income ratios. So it really helps, even if it's going up, $75,000, $100,000. That's a good healthy amount to help so that you can stay into a conforming loan limit. So in Orange County here, we've got a 1,073,000. That's also LA County. Some of the surrounding counties are going to be around 715,000. So definitely some much needed help.
Yeah, and so all that means that anybody buying in that price range, you get the best possible rate on a mortgage if you can qualify for the Fannie Mae loan.
Correct. Yes. So staying away from those jumbo rates, like I said, just more requirements, and you're able to save some money immediately with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do nice $1.5 million homes in Downey we can finance there, Patricia?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Now,
Is-
Gustavo, for FHA, can you touch a little bit on what a rate would be, for a buyer, what the rates would be for FHA? Because those are typically at least a percentage less, right?
Yeah, and that's about right. Traditionally they're about 1% less. So I'm seeing anywhere, depending on your credit score, 5.25 to 5.625, 5.3, 5.75. So you're gonna be around there, depending on your credit score. So it also gives a little bit of relief. There's some additional, cost in there with the mortgage insurance, but
Right.
you really get a benefit of being able to have flexibility on qualifying, and then also having a lower rate to get you into that first home. So if somebody needs a little bit more of flexibility and their approval, say it's, they're getting into that Downey home, it's their first home, they've got some expenses and it's pushing up their debt to income ratio. Well, maybe an FHA loan will be able to give them the flexibility that they need on their payment and in their debt to income ratios in order to qualify.
Right. I did have an agent call me, and I think she's just scarred from the last 2 years. She called me and said, "Are you accepting FHA loans, through the offers for Downey?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you have an FHA buyer, send it over. I mean, we're reviewing all offers. So FHA, definitely, we're reviewing FHA offers as well." So I think some agents are still, on the fence about submitting an FHA offer. So they're actually calling ahead of time to see if that's acceptable and if the seller's even gonna look at it. And I said, yeah, most definitely.
Hold on,
That's the
newsflash.
market, that's the market we're in today.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that the real estate agents are communicating with each other to help support their clients' needs?
I did have one agent, yes, call me today and say, I'm sending you an offer, and they've already seen the property. So, that's great. I mean, at least she is communicating and not just thinking that we're not even gonna look at it and not send it. So I'm glad that she's being proactive.
Well, look, the FHA loan comes down to the lender, the loan officer. If they know what they're doing, they package the loan. You got a shot. 90% of them, my experience, 90% of FHA loans that get submitted, somebody does conventional loans, doesn't know what they're doing, and there's no way that buyer is going to qualify or the property is going to qualify.
Right.
So you have to find out, but occasionally find a lender, and I've been around a little while, that, if it's a Gustavo, fine, write it up,
Yeah.
right? Because he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But a lot of his competitors, they just see FHA low down payment. They don't know what that means. It means you got to hit those marks on the paperwork. It means the property has to hit the mark on the inspections and such.
On the condition, right?
The condition looks like your Downey property looks to me like FHA, just from the exterior looks, good to go, right?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, so that's an FHA or VA buyer right there all day long, and they've been waiting for those kind of properties. Those haven't been in the market for the last couple of years. So wow, good for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Jill asked a question, Gustavo. What's up with the B of A zero down payment loan? Didn't they learn anything last time around?
Yeah, I was, it's a little bit tricky on that one, because the way I see it when it came out, it was very much like it just, here's the money, and there's no guidelines, and they weren't talking a lot about the income qualifications and all those. So right away I thought about that. I said, wow, this is a lot of stated information, a lot of just opening up the gates, and I think that's just the way it got marketed, it got released. That always, the headlines that we saw are going to get attractions, right? They're going to get the eyeballs, right? So they're going to have to go through qualifications, and they're going to go through the guidelines. So I think it was just coming out with a bang and trying to get some people to get in touch with their local B of A and be able to go through that. But you're right, we can't go that way, and I don't think this program does go down that route. But I think the way it came out, communicated, it makes it seem that way.
I went to a Fannie Mae conference in Chicago in 2008, and it was kind of like the movie The Big Short. And the excuse they were using to push these no qualifying products at the time was for underserved communities. Everybody wants to help underserved communities. Everybody feels an obligation to help people who are underserved. Okay, fair enough. The problem is those loans enslave those people, because they were encouraged to buy properties they couldn't afford. They lost them. They had to go through the negativity of foreclosure and a short sale, and really destroyed those neighborhoods' wealth. And it's like, looks to me like they just want to do it all over again. Get people in houses they can't afford, in the name of helping them, but that's not really helping them. How about educate? How about give better service? Why doesn't B of A just give better service to their customers to help them get in? Saying, why are they coming up with some fancy program? No equity. Does that make sense to anybody here?
Yeah.
Competition is just being more reckless with federal dollars. I don't understand how that, why anybody would think that's going to work, but it sounds attractive. Like you say, it sounds good that they're trying to help people, but at the end of the day.
Yeah. There was definitely a lot of buzz on it on the social media, online, and the headlines were very much like they were just opening up the gates to, some free money and no real guidelines. It would have been better, I think, if they would have put out some guidelines on there so that you don't get that initial feeling of this is just going to go south pretty quick. Yes, you can do grants, and there's a lot of states that do that as well. But then here are the guidelines, and if it's an undeserved community, then you just got to put some guidelines of maybe income requirements, debt to income ratios, and just be able to see like, okay, there's still going to be some checks and balances to help the families so that they're not, like you said, out of a house in 2-3 years because they just weren't able to pay that house. That's really where it hurts even more, the community.
Just to be clear, it wasn't undeserved, it's underserved.
Sorry, yeah, underserved.
Saying, you can say what you want. I'm saying for me, I speak quickly and mumble sometimes. Everybody deserves whatever they get. I'm not here to judge, but they were underserved. I'm just trying to make sure
the other issue with this whole B of A announcement is that they don't even have the capacity to service all of the calls that they're being inundated with. And this is a perfect example because Gustavo and I went to go meet this buyer, and he said, before I called Patricia, he went to go apply with B of A. He said, I cannot get in touch with the loan officer and they're not calling me back.
Imagine
so if you're in a hurry to get a loan approval because you started shopping or, you want to start shopping, this is the time that you really need to work with somebody that's dedicated, that's going to return the calls, that's going to be on the phone, that's going to be checking their email. And, if you're a buyer, you don't have days or weeks to waste. You have to really act on it now. And you want to make sure that you're working with a team that's going to be calling you back, responding to your emails, and really keeping you up to date on what the process is. So Gustavo came in and, we had that conversation with the buyer. The other thing is this buyer isn't even online. He has, no technology at home, which is fine. A lot of people don't. But we met at a Starbucks, and with the iPhone feature to scan documents, Gustavo was able to take a picture. He came with all of his financials as far as tax returns and pay stubs, scanned all the documents, and, that was that. It was very, very simple and very fast.
Yeah.
Nice.
And especially in this high rate environment, not hearing from someone for a week, it can really affect the buyer. The rates, it goes up and you're locking now at a much higher opportunity. So, a much higher rate. So you lost that opportunity to be able to secure your rate. So it definitely, it's important to be able to work with someone that responds to you quickly.
As I always say, it's never a problem until it's a problem. For 2 years, lenders could take whatever time they wanted for 20 years, and rates just kept coming down and coming down. And so basically we financed incompetence in this whole industry. And the only thing funnier than the incompetence on the administrative side is on the sales side. I can't tell you how many lenders approach me a day now via email, via text, via phone calls. It's all one-shot stuff, a text, an email, a video, all kind of gimmicky. Where were you when we needed you? Where were you helping our customers when we needed you? Gustavo was here helping us. It has the skills and experience helping customers get into homes. These people have been answering phone calls for refinances for 10 years, and their biggest workday issue was getting their Porsche polished. Those guys are having those guys and girls have a tough time right now. So anyhow, okay, we've talked a lot. Any questions on the call? Irma, I don't know. I see you on the call there, but you're muted. If you want to chat a question in or unmute yourself or raise your hand, love to make it participative. We've had Jill having a dialogue. I would go with Gustavo. She says, is it bait or switch at BMV? I think the answer we know is yes. And she says if it's between the other lenders and Gustavo, she's going to go with Gustavo every time. And we are too. That's why we have her. So thank you, Gustavo. You have fans. You have fans here on our YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Okay, I think that's anything else. Any last questions, concerns, last words before you sign off, Gustavo? Anything you want to finish up with?
Well, as we talked about, what should the home buyer do, right? And there's definitely a list of things, right? And this has to do with just being prepared, not going out and buying a new car if you're going to be going and buying a house, right? So there's certain things that you want to start thinking about, not adding a big liability like a car, right? A $600, $700, $800 payment into that, that's going to cut into your house budget, right? Taking out new credit cards, closing credit cards. Yes, you can pay them down, but closing them, you may be closing off a credit card that is 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and it gives you that history. So there's things in there that you want to make sure that you take a look. You call someone like myself. I take a look at your profile and I said, okay, look, you're this is where you stand. This is what you could do. Don't take out a new card that you're going to buy furniture and be able to furnish the new house and all that kind of stuff. Just kind of be patient with us. So have that initial conversation, I would recommend, so that then you have a better roadmap. And then you can be able to secure that home that you're looking for, because at the end of the day, that's really what you're going after, and not the furniture or the car or any of that kind of stuff. You can do that afterwards. So
Very
Right,
good.
and also co-signing,
yes,
right? No co-signing.
yeah,
co-sign.
that's true.
Don't do it. Just say
Yeah.
no.
Co-signing for anybody else, that can also just kind of hurt you, so that you don't have to, you're like I said, your income is going to be basically a lot less. Oh, the one more thing too, if you're changing jobs, right? So you may be going from a salary to an hourly wage, so that matters as well. If you're changing industries, if it's a full career change, so those kinds of things that we can still get you qualified, but it's going to be asking for more information. It's going to be, detailing more, and especially on the income side, if you're going from salary to hourly, all of a sudden your average wages may go down. So salary is something that we can count very easily, but variable income hourly, that's something that we have to average out. Yes, you might be working now this month, but what happened to the first part of the year? So the lenders will always be a little bit more conservative and say, well, let's take a look at the last 12 months because it's hourly wage. Well, if we take a look at the last 12 months, now your monthly income average went down by $500. So there's all these little things that when you change jobs and you change the way you get paid, definitely something that we want to take a look at so that we can prepare yourselves for the next step.
Great insight as always. Gustavo Segura, Sendero Home Loans. Here's his webpage, senderohomeloans.com. Gustavo Segura is his name. There's his phone number. You can call or text 714-334-4563, or go to the website. If you're buying or refinancing, click on the right number there. You'll set an appointment and you'll be off to the races. And we have him on here because we can promise he'll take good care of you. Gustavo, thank you as always for being on the call with us.
No, thank you for having me both. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you.
And Patricia.Castillo, any last words for our customers or watchers today?
Yes, I just wanted to say, if anybody has any questions at any time, just give me a call. I'm happy to go over the information with you. There are a lot of details, but all the details matter. Just like Gustavo mentioned, even a change from hourly to salary, that could make a big difference in your income and your qualification. Yep. So if you're unsure about anything or about the process, give me a call. Happy to just, have a chat with you and update you on any questions you may have. And I can be reached at 323-365-9909.
Great website, patricia.castillo.exprealty.com. And there's a nice picture of her as well as her details. You can get your key questions answered. And then also there is the open house from being held open. When is it? Open house on
Saturday and Sunday.
September 17th. I've already been on the website too much, so they're kicking me off.
Saturday and Sunday, 12 to 3 p.m. And
Fantastic.
We're having a fun popcorn machine. So come by and grab your free
Whoa. Now you dropped the popcorn. Now I'm getting ready to hang up here. What time's the popcorn available at?
12 to 3.
Maybe 12 to 3. Maybe
12
popcorn.
to 3.
We'll see.
Stop by, grab some popcorn.
Patricia, thanks so much. As always, my sidekick on this. Sidekick that way?
This way,
Patricia?
Yeah.
Not that way. It's funny. I'm looking at the screen. You're that way.
Right. It's opposite.
It's opposite. Okay.
Yes.
So always good to have you. Love playing with you. And thanks, Gustavo, and everybody who's on the call today. And Jill, thanks for your comments. I'm Bill Gross. We do this every Wednesday, Homebuyer Seminar, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Come on, chat with us, bring your questions. We're on social media. If you put questions on, Patricia and I will catch up with them later. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week and make today your
thank you,
best day
everybody.
ever. Thanks,
Bye.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.